One. Here with our head softball coach at UVA is Karen Bitter, getting ready for the 2024 season. There's a lot of excitement around both the softball and baseball programs here at UVA for obvious reasons, and I think that's a good place to start. The brand new fields for you guys. You guys have gotten to practice a couple times. Our offices are right here by the softball and baseball field. I've been driving by, seeing you guys practicing. So first, just what's your take? What's it like getting to play on this new field? How have the girls enjoyed it? Are they having a fun time with the new turf?
Yes. We all are. I think the old habits die hard. And so there was a Saturday morning that we were going to practice, and it had kind of rained the night before, and I thought to myself, oh, Nick's gonna have to get up early and get the field ready, and I'm like, actually he's not. Maybe we can try it together this time to practice. So that moment kind of you know was came and went in my brain, but it's just honestly, it's just been such a blessing. I really feel thankful that we've had the opportunity to be outside a few times, since prior to the snow coming, and then after the snow. It's been a big huge help, just preparing for the weekend. So the girls have loved it. It's been I know it's been a blessing to them too, and they've we've gotten a scrimmage, and just really haven't had to worry about a whole lot of extra field work and tarp pulls and things of that nature. So we're just really grateful.
And that was obviously the weather aspect, a large draw of putting in the new turf and not having to worry about rainouts or even snow outs as much as and stuff like that. But another aspect was a truer playing field, particularly on defense. Have you noticed that to be the case as well? More true ground balls, easier bounces, stuff like that. That's better for the fielders to gauge.
Yeah, I mean, it has played just really smooth. It's played really clean. The bounces have been great. It's played a little slower than I was expecting, honestly, which I'm not mad about. And of course they made the field bigger, to 220 to center, and so there have been a few balls hit where you can kind of tell some of my senior outfielders kind of like pull up a little early, because it's such a habit to like stop at 200, and so it's like, nope, you got more room, keep going. It's been great to get to practice out there and have a little bit more room. A lot of the opponents that we play against have a bigger field, and so you're working in double cuts and things, so you're just able to prepare a little bit more, for just your opponents than maybe what we've been able to do so in the past. The the field has been great. It's been, again, it's been, the girls have slid on it. They've gotten a few turf burns, I think, but they're getting used to it too. But it's been really nice.
We talked with Brandon Costa. I think some of us are maybe going to miss the dirty jerseys at least. It'll save a little bit on laundry, but no more dirty jerseys sliding headfirst into second base or anything like that.
I mean, I think I did listen to Coach Costa's interview last night, and that I do remember that being brought up. And I think, I'm not too upset about it. They are going to have some opportunities to play on natural, fields, and they'll get a touch of that here and there. But to not have to do the amount of work that we were putting into that field, it's like darn,
Oh.
So the excitement about it has not worn off for me in regards to not being having to worry about sliding into second base with a dirty uniform. So
I find it interesting that you bring up the outfielders having to make that adjustment to the larger field, not only in the outfield. But one thing that I thought about when adding in a turf field is the warning track. And that's obviously a very useful tool for outfielders going back to the wall, knowing where it is. You don't really have that difference in material anymore for you to gauge. How has that adjustment been like in early on so far for your outfielders, knowing when that wall is coming up and how to gauge how to play the ball off the wall or going over the wall, stuff like that?
sure. I mean, we've spent a lot of time this, preseason, really spending some time on fence catches, and just the communication aspect from a teammate standpoint out there on the field, and just how we're going to communicate some of those things. In addition to the the body parts that you have to be able to try to find the fence. So it's definitely going to be a little bit of an adjustment, but I think if they can communicate out there, and just kind of work really hard to find the fence, I think they'll be fine.
So some key dates coming up for you guys this season, starting tomorrow, bright and early, 10 a.m. over at Mount Olive in a little round robin with Mount Olive and Virginia Union. You guys get Virginia Union tomorrow. It's a doubleheader both days, Saturday and Sunday. Virginia Union and Mount Olive, your first and second opponents in each day. It'll be 10 and 3 tomorrow, and then 10 and 12:30 on Sunday. Obviously, very excited to get the season started. Home opener is going to be February 10th. That's a doubleheader against Concord. First conference game of the season is going to be a doubleheader with Wingate. That's not till March 2nd. Senior Day is going to be April 20th. The last series of the year will be here at home on a Saturday. That's Mars Hill. And then, as always, looking out for where Emory and Henry slots in at the schedule. Doubleheader here at the softball field, March 21st. Some big dates coming up for you guys. Obviously, very excited for all of that. Any specific teams or series? Obviously, Emory and Henry's one that we mentioned, always a circle, but any specific teams or series you're looking forward to and taking a shot at this year?
I'm looking forward to Florida. We are taking the team down. We'll stop and hit Newberry on the way down, and that'll be a great series with them. It always is. And then we'll just keep on going down to Florida, and we'll be able to hit Flagler, Embry-Riddle, and we'll get USC Beaufort on the way back. So I am looking forward to taking the team down to Florida. It's always a fun trip. It's always a great trip, especially with such a young team, to be able to kind of take that time to just be with them and get to know them even better, and just kind of have some time to relax too while we're down there. So I will say I am looking forward to that trip. It's I think the way that we have the schedule set up, I think we're going to be, we should have some really great experience and teams under our belt as we head into the big chunk of the conference play. So I think it's just a matter of, testing out some different lineups, testing out some different, looks and things, getting some pitchers, some innings, and see what they look like. But overall, I'm excited about our non-conference schedule and what we're headed into. And then, just let's bring on the sack.
Some of the advantages, or one of the advantages, I should say, of a trip like that down to Florida is team bonding and getting, like you mentioned, getting to spend time together and grow, not just as players, but as people. And that's going to be important for you guys this year. 14 freshmen on the roster, 13 true freshmen, one redshirt freshman. Going to have to handle those young guns and young legs. What are some advantages of having a young team like that going into this season?
They don't know any better. I think that's probably the best advantage that there is that they're excited to play. It hasn't really worn off. They're not too jaded yet. They don't really know any better. They don't know the opponents. They don't know what they're getting themselves into. All they know is we just got to come in here and just try to play our best, because that's what we've been talking about. So I think that for me is probably what's exciting. The freshmen have been really, truly a breath of fresh air. They're really great human beings. They're very positive people, and they have really given us a lot of depth that we haven't had in a long time. And so the returners have done an amazing job with I think, integrating them into the team, and also, just making them getting them into the routine, and just kind of really helping them in their classes. And I'm super proud of the returners for all the time that they have spent getting to know the freshmen and making them feel valued and a part of the team. So it's been a really great atmosphere to be a part of. And but I think that's probably the best thing about having a big new group is it's kind of really an opportunity to kind of hit the restart button and just get everybody on the same page again.
And along with those freshmen, you do have two newcomers that are juniors, a couple transfer pitchers, Jillian Jones and Sophie Crease, coming in this season. Bringing in those two pitchers like that, what attracted you about them to get them here on Wise and a part of your team?
I mean, they're both very experienced. Jillian Jones in particular, at Catawba Valley had a really great, you know, um, you know, 2 years down there, really helping her team, leading them into super regional with Lewisburg. And so I think just having that, we lost a big pitcher in McKenna Falwell. And so we really wanted to bring in somebody with some experience and somebody who can kind of really just jump right in without having to go through kind of the growing pains as maybe some freshman pitchers have to. And the same with Sophie. She's such a team player and she can really come out there and I think hammer some innings for us. I'm just really excited about seeing those two and, just glad to have them for sure.
So those are some of the newcomers that you have. You do have some key returners this year. The easy one to start with is the headliner, Kara Long. Broke a ton of program records last year. 450 batting average was a program record, 529 on base. She only struck out 5 times all year. I mean, one of the best in the country in that category. She finished the year as part of the second team All Southeast region. She's obviously going to be the key player that everybody is scouting and looking at when going and looking at your lineup. I'm wondering for the people that maybe don't get to watch in person or watch online as much or just check box scores, what does Kara Long do so well that you're not going to see if you're not watching her in person?
I mean, from an offensive perspective, she's going to consistently put the ball in play, like you mentioned, 5 strikeouts. She's going to try to drive the ball and hit it hard. She's not going to try to do too much. She's not out there trying to be flashy or take these big hacks or anything. She's just out there doing what we asked her to do and just put the ball in play and hit it hard somewhere. She's going to give you good at bats. She's going to get deep into counts. She's going to make those pitchers work. So from an offensive perspective, I think that's what, if you're not watching her play, then you're missing out for sure. And then from a defensive perspective, she's just a playmaker. She's going to get to everything that she can get to, and she's going to throw it hard across the field. She's going to knock balls down, keep them in the infield. But then, of course, she's just a leader. So, just really proud of her and, everything that she has not only accomplished as a player, but she's, just such a leader on the team. The younger girls just really look up to her, not only for how she models herself as a student athlete, but just, of course, as a student too. And just, we're just grateful that she's decided to come back. I mean, we went through senior year and everything last year because she was done, from an academic standpoint. So I am grateful to the college for, adding those graduate programs, for her to be able to stay. And I think that's going to be really helpful for all of the athletes moving forward. If they want to take a redshirt year or they want to, spend a little bit more time, just continuing on with their education, and maybe they get hurt, or something like that, they have that opportunity to kind of stick it out, and maybe stay for that extra year. So I know that really benefited her, but it also benefited us for her to be able to kind of stick it out and really finish out her 4 years, playing career because she has earned it. So
You mentioned Kara's defense, and when you look at softball, obviously you need defense at all positions, but there are those key positions that you really kind of anchor the defense with. I think obviously you think of a catcher, you think of center field, and then the diamond, you think of shortstop, and that's where she is. It's got to be a really good feeling as a coach to know that on that left side of the infield, she's right there and she's likely going to make the play 9.5 times out of 10. She had a 950 fielding percentage last
yeah.
year.
Anytime the ball gets hit in her vicinity, I know we have a chance of getting it out. So, but like you said, she anchors our defense and, she, knows those moments where she needs to maybe go talk to the pitchers and get it down, something of that nature. So, she's definitely somebody who, has just worked really hard, and has truly done everything that we've asked her to do. So I'm just very proud of her.
You bring back a couple other really good hitters from last year as well. Bailey Allison had a 321 batting average, or sorry, Bailey Allison was 289. Sarah Barrett was 321, both right around that 300 line where you want them to be. It's going to have to feel really good to have them in the lineup going along with Kara Long. Those three right there are going to be 3 tough outs for the opposing team to get.
Yeah, I mean, Sarah has done, just a consistent job at the plate for her all her time here. She's a competitor. She likes to go out there and compete. She competes in all of her at bats. Every time she's up, there's a chance to, put it in play, but also hit the long ball. So, she's just an athlete all around. She may play a little bit of outfield. She might play a little bit of second base. I know anywhere I put her, she's going to try to compete and do the best that she possibly can. So just again, I can't wait to watch her in her final year. She's got some speed on the bases too and can be a threat there. She's very smart and savvy. And then Bailey, she is going to probably see a little bit more time in the circle this year than what she did last year. Um, and so, I know she played a little bit more third base last year, but with the freshmen that we have coming in, I think pitching has been her, been something that we focused a lot more on this year than last year. And, just she's come a long way and she's really mowing them down right now. So that seems exciting. And then of course to be able to come in and hit for yourself as a pitcher, then that means that we have the opportunity to potentially have more of a defensive specialist out there and, have her to hit for herself. And then a DP in there maybe for somebody else. So I think it just gives us some more options in the lineup than, a pitcher that you have to flex for. So, I think we truly have kind of added a few more people to our lineup and to our arsenal and some of these freshmen. So I think that we're going to have a little bit of a different look this year, and I'm excited about them.
You do have another newcomer this year who's new in their role to the program, but not necessarily new to UVA wise. You bring in Taylor Kelly, one of the most decorated pitchers of all time, going to be an assistant coach this year for you guys. Very exciting stuff. What does Taylor bring to this coaching staff for you this year?
I think what she brings is a championship perspective. That she was a student athlete. She's done this. She's been here before. She's taken us to a regional. She's won a conference tournament. And it wasn't really truly too long ago. So to be able to kind of really bring that perspective and kind of just relate to them a little bit. Like I played for Coach K. I know how it is, and I survived. Maybe, but I think just having her there, and then from a pitching perspective, it also just kind of brings it allows me the opportunity to do some other things, to focus a little bit more on maybe the infield while she's with the pitchers, or something of that nature. She can call pitches too, so I can go and work on something else with somebody else. When I've been down on the floor, maybe inside doing some defensive, strategies and things, she's up in the cage working with the pitchers. So that has really opened up, I think, my role a little bit, and also given the pitchers a little bit more feedback than they may not have been getting in the past. So just extremely grateful to have her here.
Well, we're very excited to get the season started for you guys and watch how you guys do and see it on that perfectly nice looking brand new turf field. For the fans at home, the season starts tomorrow for softball, a doubleheader at Mount Olive against Virginia Union First at 10 a.m. Mount Olive coming up shortly after that at 3 o'clock. Then the first home game right here, doubleheader against Concord. That's February 10th, a Saturday, 2-4 doubleheader. Karen, good luck on the road this weekend, and we look forward to having you back here in Wise.
Thank you so much.